Hello, can you see me? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to N2MYGT Entertainment, and I am Joel. Just getting in the Halloween spirit a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. So what is going on, my friends? Today is a rainy afternoon here on this Saturday. So we're not going to have too much to talk about, but I wanted to catch y'all up on some of the car stuff and then what's been going on here in my life a little bit. So watch the intro and we'll see you in a bit. And yeah, I never got anything for that, so oh well, enjoy it. Everybody, I hope y'all enjoy that intro. It hasn't changed, and I guess it never will be, huh? I'm just kind of in that spot, right? So anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is kind of what I got going on with my vehicles, what I got planned for the future, and what I want to do with certain things around this house. So with starting here first, I guess, with Storm. There's no real big plans for Storm. It is Pam's 2014 California special. It does have the glass roof, if a lot of people didn't know. So that is kind of the nice little attraction to this car. But I just recently put the dash cam in there from Pelsi. It also brought a rear camera attachment. You can use it either as a backup camera, a rear camera, or both. So that's what it's being used for. But go back and watch some of the videos if that stuff interests you. I give you my points about how I like it and don't like it, and some of the things I would change on it if need be. And then it does have the front facing camera also here, and it does have 24-hour surveillance because it is hardwired into the OB2 sensor. But we are not doing that commercial today. We're just here talking about the vehicles. Here is my baby girl, WASP. Yes, WASP is here, sitting pretty clean. Well, not so much clean per se, but sitting in the garage doing her thing. There is something coming for WASP. Now, I'm not going to get into great detail. I'm not going to even give y'all probably any good hints, but something that I usually do to my vehicles that I haven't done to this particular one. So I am going to go ahead and get that done. It's been ordered. The supporting mods have been here in the house actually, and around where I need them to be. So when that all gets squared away, we will make a full-length video on that with WASP and get y'all caught up with that a little bit. But let me pop the hood and show you some of the goodies. I know y'all kind of missed that a little bit, right? I still love my rear seat delete. Yep, there's WASP and her supercharger. Like I said, I love this car. Like I said, it runs good. Like I said, it's definitely a different ride from my my 14 Electra. Like I said, the car handles totally different, but the car is set up a little different, and it is, you know, roughly 10 years newer, right? So technology is a little different. And this one, I did kind of the same stuff with Electra versus this, with adding the rear sway bar, front and rear. But the car itself, you know, with the stop to hop and all the suspension add-ons, it handles really good. Like I said, it's still kind of funny the way that the car acts, because for it being 850 horsepower car, it is so tame till you get on to her. Like I said, it's everyday driving is just feels like nothing's going on, you know, until you actually get into it, and then hold on, because you kind of go for the ride. In the few thousand miles that I've had this car, Whipple Supercharged, I think it is 6,060 right now. Like I said, with it being supercharged, it made the trip down to Mustang Week. So, you know, 300 miles, 400 miles down, 400 miles back. So, you know, it did really well. Pam drove it down. The noise inside the car itself, with it being with the seat delete and all the little extras I've done, did help. It does have a little bit of road noise, and it's going to, just for the fact that I have tightened up the suspension on this car a little bit, one-piece drive shaft, you know, so you're going to get a little NVH. It's nothing horrible. It's nothing that you can't just turn up the stereo a little bit and take care of, you know. So like I said, the way that this car is set up now, it is perfect in my mind. There's not much I need to do to it, but there is some little things I am going to do to it, and we'll get to those when they show up. But I just wanted to let you know there is at least one more modification coming for this vehicle shortly, and once it comes in, we're going to go ahead and take care of it. You guys want to hear startup? I'll do it for y'all. Before I do that, the only thing that I want to let people know, if you decide to get a painted supercharger or any part like this painted, you have to kind of expect things. These normally come black. You don't really see a lot going on with them, but it being the yellow, you can probably see all the belt dust down there. And it comes off fairly easy, but just trying to get to it is a pain. Over here, you know, you could get to it a little better, but it does. It was kind of concerning at first, but I don't have bad wear on my belt, and it being a newer belt, you know, it has to settle itself in a little bit. So with that being said, that's the only thing. There is a chip here, and then where the bolts kind of come in, it got chipped a little bit there. But you know, I guess it comes with the territory a little bit, but just want you to at least put that in your mind. If you ever get one of these painted, for the most part, you want to make sure that you're careful doing it. I don't know how that chip was there. I don't know if that chip was there from the get-go, but or you know, when we were installing it, something might have hit it. But nevertheless, it doesn't affect the way that it operates. It's just the way it looks. So just keep that in the back of your head. So yeah, that is WASP cold start. Like I said, just wanted to give you a little bit of that going on. But again, got some things going on with her here shortly. So hope when that comes in, we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. Now we got good old Nightwing out here getting wet, but look at them water beads. I am actually getting wet for you guys today. So as you can see, that I have this pretty much coated. I do this myself. I don't take it anywhere. Yes, sometimes I do take it through the car wash to get it pre-done, but then I come home and detail it. So good old Wasp is out here getting wet, unfortunately, but this car is still one of my favorites, being the SUV of the family. 511 horsepower. Looks pretty beautiful. I love it. Got good old Minion right there. Minion 5.0. Brandon's 2015 Mustang GT. Newly whippled, newly tuned. He has been going through some stuff with it, trying to get a ghost cam. I don't know why, but he wanted a ghost cam. It wasn't working out. I don't know if it's because of the supercharger itself changes the way that the airflow is on it, and it doesn't really set right. So he's kind of giving that up for right now. But yeah, with the new tune, I forgot who he says does it. Go watch his videos on the car, and you know, he'll let you know about what's happening with that. But supposedly it's pretty stout. We might have to one day, you know what I'm saying. Viva la Mexico! And what I also got going on down here is our 2021 Dodge Ram 1500. It is definitely dirty, and I need to get in there and detail it. But like I said, it's bigger than my garage, so I need the weather to cooperate. Obviously, you see, today is not that day, but let me tell you about this truck a little bit. Pam bought it a while back for us to go ahead and do some moving, and just to have a truck in the family, because you know, it's nice to have something like that. I did my first oil change after having it for a year and a half almost, because we really don't drive too much. So like I said, when you have so many vehicles, you kind of roll around and can be in different stuff. But I did my first oil change on this. Now, whoever designed this truck needed to be kicked in the nads, because first of all, when you go to the oil pan to do the drain plug, as soon as you undo the drain plug, it hits the bottom sway bar on the bottom of this that goes from one end to the other. So it splits it and makes a total ass mess. So that's one thing. And then the oil filter. The oil filter for this car is above the rack and pinion. So you have like this much space to get your hand in there to undo it. Getting it tight is plenty hard by itself. Trying to reach it is a whole different thing. I don't know with these vehicles, is it easier to take off the wheel to do it and then kind of reach around in that way? I don't know, but I got it done. It is ready to go. So like I said, the oil has been changed in this car. Like I said, I love this truck. I drive this truck a lot. Like I said, it's nice to just go around and do some Lowe's trips and what have you, you know, so it works out pretty good. When she bought this, you know, I kind of took it under my wing, tinted the windows, that's why they're nightmared right there, put the tonneau cover on, wheels and tires, took off the factory, I guess, running boards, put on the Romic running boards, came across the front, changed the headlights because it had the old style halogen headlights. Now we have the LEDs with the LED fog lights also. So at night you can see for miles down the road. So not a problem there. And then what else did we put on here? We did the seat covers inside, but I don't have the keys with me. And then we did the short person step for me. So you can kind of drop it down, get into the back, do what you got to do, and then when you're done, kick it back up. And then of course I did the Borla exhaust on here. As you can see, it says Borla right down the top. Sounds really good when getting into it, but not so obnoxious that it bugs the whole neighborhood. So like I said, I do love this truck too. All right everybody, so we have a rainy day vlog going on. So what I want to ask y'all is, what do y'all want to see next on this channel? Now, I am not in a purchasing mood or in a purchasing place of my life where I can do that. Now, I do own this big ass house. I do have some things going on here that I need to take care of, and that's kind of, I have to do a work-life balance. I have no work, I just have life at the moment, but that work-life balance should be changing here shortly. Now, what I'm going to get at, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But the question I do ask is, what do y'all want to see from any of the vehicles in the fleet? My 2024 Mustang GT, Pam's 2014 California Special, good old, you know it, Nightwing 2022 Explorer ST. I could get Brandon's keys, do something with the 15, kind of compare this Whipple with that Whipple. Now we can do that, right? See how the feel is, something that is almost 10 years newer but with the same blower on it. I know nobody wants to see anything with the Escape, and there's nothing really done with that. That's Sydney's car. Usually there's a Jeep right here, but Pam has gotten off and driven somewhere. But look, she has showed up and coming around the corner right now, closing the garage door on me at that. She always does this stuff to me, I swear to God. Or we could go ahead and do some stuff with the Ram. Either way, I have some choices of what I could do with some of these cars. Now, buying parts and doing that stuff, I'm not at that point quite yet. I bought what I'm gonna buy, I've done what I've done. So just kind of key in on some of the stuff y'all want to see with these vehicles, things you want me to do with it. Towing with this, I've never towed with it. So who knows, you know, maybe throwing a car in the back of a flatbed thing and go ahead and tow it around, see how that ends up for me. Probably not well, but let me show you some stuff I want to do around the house too. So okay guys, well, Pam showed up, so now I got a Jeep backdrop. Yep. So anyway, work wise, now I've had a few interviews, I've had a few job offers, and hopefully Tuesday I will get the job that I'm really looking for. It's my third interview with this company. I'm not getting into names, I'm not going to get into salaries. All I can say is it'll be almost what I was making. It's in an area, part of town that I will enjoy going to, and it's something different that I haven't done. Now, it's stuff I've done, but not for this type of field work or type deal stuff, you know. So we're gonna have to see how that all pans out. But like I said, I'm really excited about that. I do have a job at the moment. I have not started, but I don't know if that job is even going to pan out and start now on time. It was supposed to be October 1st. I had signed up for orientation for Monday, and then they sent an email saying that orientation was canceled. And then I got another email which was kind of vague, but I have to figure out and hit them up Monday and seeing, because the job itself I think might have changed, or they might have decided to go a different route with it, because it was for an auto parts store that they are doing a pilot program on. So I don't know if that got pushed back or what have you. So I'll have to kind of see what's going on with that. Hopefully the Tuesday interview will bypass all that stuff and I'll get a job offer with them, and then none of this is really going to matter. But nevertheless, I'm not too upset about this other job, because it barely makes over minimum wage, and it's not using my skills for what they're used for. It was just kind of a job that popped up. It's better pay than no pay, right? So that was just kind of the whole logistics of it. But we'll see how that goes. I don't want to get into too many details with all that. So, but hopefully Tuesday your boy will get the job that he's looking for, and then I can get into more of what it is. I'll be traveling a little bit for training, but the job is actually here in Richmond, so I'll be good to go there. But let me go around the house a little bit, because I want to show you something in the other tool shed that I want to do. All right, everybody, I have made my way out to my tool shed. There used to be Electra's HQ. Now it's going to probably be WASP HQ. Like I said, I haven't got around to doing everything I want to do in here yet, but the first thing I think I want to do once I get my career back on track and have a little bullshit money, you know, that I could spend, I want to change this wooden pad to a concrete pad. Extend it out a little further so it'll be more of a direct ramp up, and then kind of come in. This works for now, but it is wood and it is sitting on blocks, and it does bow at times. With the weight of the car, you'll see it flex down a little bit. So at this point, it works for what it's needed to be, but down the road, a year from now, 2 years from now, once the wood sits in the sun a lot, gets dry rotted, whatever the case, you know, happens to it, it is sitting on the ground at the front, you know, things are gonna happen. So I kind of probably want to nip that in the bud, do a full pad here to there, corner to corner, and then just kind of set it off and have it that way. The tool shed itself has sat in here for a year, so I am assuming that it has settled down to where it needed to be. It's had a car in there, so hopefully that will not be an issue down the road. So inside the tool shed, I have the upgraded floor. It's on, if you can see how it's settled, it's the floor joists are a lot closer, so it will support the weight of a vehicle. That's why I got this built and done this way. I have on the door itself put down the insulation on the door, so I have an insulated door now. I like to do the walls. Now I do have the radiant barrier on the walls themselves, but what it is, it looks like there's a part torn somewhere over here, yeah, which is almost like having saran wrap on your freaking walls. You know, it just goes over it, but it's supposed to help, you know, reflect the heat a little bit. So with that being done, I want to go ahead and put insulation on the walls and ceiling, and then put it in plastic. I do not want to drywall the garage. I don't want to do nothing like that. I just want to go ahead and take up some of the space. Like even right here where I have this put on the wall, maybe dip around this and have this come out, so that way it's kind of in the wall but not in the wall, right? Or, you know, I might have to go ahead and change the location to somewhere up front. Whatever the case, you know, we'll have to work it as we work it. And then get that all wrapped up and done in here, so that way during the winter or summer, I could get my little space heater out here, heat up the garage, work on the car out here if need be, so I don't take up the other one. Or come out here, I got the AC unit, you know, we can go ahead and cool it off in here and still get some things done. I like the detail out here because it's out of the way. I bring my tunes out here and then things are out of the way. It's good for a detailed garage because you don't need to have power tools and this, that, and the other. Like with the main garage, you know, I'll go ahead and do all my big work over there with tire changes and maintenance and all that other stuff. But for like detailing, I think this works out great for that. Also, got a camera always watching you, always watching in here. So WASP or whoever is in here will be covered. I do have my little rack of Misfit toys. I got my upper intake, my shroud that went with it, the shroud that went over the coolant fan. Forgot what's in that box, but little odds and ends from the install of the Whipple. I got some brand new filters in there. I got some spacers, a boost box that came in, air hoses, you know, a little odds and ends. I got my old intakes. Brandon's clutch is just a box. Brandon's pipe, which I think he's selling. It's a Corsa X pipe with all the fittings and stuff. So, you know, anybody's interested, hit him up. And then some wheel lugs and, you know, spacers and my fuel tanks at the top. So that's what I got going on in here. I also have power, obviously, because it works on. And then I got lights so we can see what we're doing. Now, what I like to do that hasn't been done in here quite yet is the floor. Now, I have an upgraded floor. It's double layered, so I don't have a problem with that, and it has a coating on it, so if you spill stuff on it or whatever, it's not going to matter so much. But what I want to do is put down the little triangle floor pieces, the little plastic ones, you know, you can make the shapes or do a thing or just get it covered. I want to do that in here at some point, just to have, you know, just to clean it up a little bit, make it look nice. Take this up, take it outside, put down the floor, put this back in here, and be done with it. Nothing too special. And like I said, it is what it is, right? So it is going to be my little workshop for detailing and stuff like that. And you know, it keeps the stuff over there. And then I like to listen to music and stuff during the time I'm working on my cars. Sometimes it interferes with people inside. So, you know, this way I'll have my own little space out here to do what I got to do. So maybe doing like the tri-bar, you know, tri-bar on the floor for the Mustang or something. I don't know how I want to do it, but you know, I'll leave that out there. And if anybody has any ideas or has put the flooring in, let me know how it is and is it worth doing. And you see, everything's powered. So like I said, we're going to figure that part out at some point. AC is secure and no problem there. So like I said, I bought this for one reason. You know, things change a little bit, but we're going to figure it all out. That's Pam's little happy place. It's her spa, swim spa at that, you know, so it has the jets in there. So it pushes against you so you can swim against it. So you'll be stationary, but you swim. And then it has seating on the back half over here. The swim spa part is probably up to this door right here. And then from here back, you have seating for the jets, and it's heated. So she can use it all year round. She's enjoying that a lot. All right, everyone. So that is a video. It is short and sweet, but I wanted to put something out today just to get everything caught back up and then get back on this trail of making some videos. And like I said, I'm leaving it up to y'all of what y'all like to see. Like I said, I have an ample fleet. I can't buy anything new for a while. And like I said, there's nothing really that I want. So what I have is what I have. Like I said, I could do some detailing, you know, get the cars in the tool shed out there, show you how I detail. Again, sometimes I kind of cheat the system. I'll take it to a car wash, get them to do the washing part, and then I'll come home and do the detailing, get into depth with that. It works out good for me because I hate drying a car, but you can use Derek Tough Towels. Pam loves those things. They do a great job. You know, they dry the car one swoop. So, you know, hit up Derek and Tough Towels. Not an ad, not paid, but you know, got to support my boy here and there. And you know, let me know what y'all think. What do y'all want to get into? And like I said, I even have computer stuff, gaming. I got an array of crap that I can do, but this is an automotive channel, so I'm trying to keep it automotive. So if you want to see anything with Jeep Wagon, WASP, Storm, Nightwing, Minion, not doing it, the truck, you know, just let me know and we'll get on it. So if I can get it done, I'll get it done. If not, you know, we'll move on to the next thing. So we'll catch you on the next video, and I hope y'all have a great day and let your days be less cloudy than mine today.